Hi, my name is Brock Painter. I'm a senior here at Utah State University, and I'm here to talk about entrepreneurship and building a successful operations management. And basically, the two go hand in hand. To be able to build an entrepreneurship or a new startup company, you have to have the right operations in place. And I've been doing a lot of research to figure out what of those things help make a company be successful, and what of the step-by-step guides will help a company gain traction and grow quickly. A lot of the things that I was able to study was through one of the TED Talks by Bill Gross. He talked about which of those things helps make a company be successful from the start. And a lot of those things may be surprising to you. The first thing was timing. It is very important that a company has the right timing in getting into the market. Second thing was your team and who's around you and the people that are a part of that company. Third thing was your business model, and fourth thing was funding. Third thing was idea, fourth thing was business model, and the fifth thing was funding. All of those things come into play when building a company, but they may not be the most important. In my idea, I thought funding and the business model would be the most important, but a lot of companies have gained traction from not having one in place. And so I thought that was particularly interesting. And another thing that I found as I was going through this process of building a company and helping it be successful was when starting a company, you want to hope for the best but prepare for the worst. And so as you're doing that, you have to take the right steps, which means having a good business plan, adapting quickly to changing circumstances, reading the demographics, and finding potential clientele. The first thing you want to do is refine your idea. And what that means is defining your why, making sure that everybody in your company is all on the same page and has the same purpose. Then what you want to do is find your target customer and who you want to go after and who you'd like to sell to. Second thing you want to do is write a business plan. And what that means is you want to conduct market research, find the right customer, the right clientele, make sure that you are marketing to the right people. And then you need to find an exit strategy, which is basically how eventually, when you decide to end the company, whether that be riding it out to the end of its life and growing it to a multi-billion-dollar company, or just building it to a point to where you sell it off and cash out. And then the third thing you want to consider is your financial situation, if you do have the money to be able to build a company. And then as far as the operations go, you want to make sure that you have the right things in place, that you're working with the right supply chains, that your product is cost effective, that you're going to be able to make good margins on it and have a successful company. You also want to make sure that as far as operations go, that your internal structure is in place, that you're putting money in the right places, because when you're starting a company, you don't have a whole lot of money to just spend on a trial and error. You want to make sure you're putting it in the right places at the right time. And so you need to make sure that as you're going through the process, you're putting your money in the right operations, you're running the numbers, and you're taking more of a quantitative outlook rather than a qualitative outlook to make sure that everything's in place for your company to be successful. And then you want to make sure that you start advertising to start growing a company. So that way your brand is recognizable and that you're doing that efficiently as well. What operations does is just make sure all of those processes come into play at a high level. And you can have operations management without entrepreneurship, but you can't have entrepreneurship without operations management. All things come into play to make sure that your company grows and is successful and makes lots of money. That's my TED Talk.